What are some necessary street smarts that everyone needs to know? Stay in well-lit areas. Follow your gut instincts about the safety of a new place. If you know a shortcut that's good in the day, it might not be safe at night. Keep everything in your front pockets. Whatever area I'm in is lit, fam. Look both ways before coming out of a doorway. If you think you're in a bad neighborhood, think you're being followed, go down the block, make a left, make a left, make a left. You eventually come full circle. If the same person is behind you, you're definitely being followed. Be confident and walk tall. Bad guys typically try to pick on the weak. Typically, if you're not scared, they think there's a good reason for that, i.e., packing heat. First time I took the bus home on leave, I wore khakis and a shirt with a collar. Had people following me, asking for money, just being obnoxious. Next time I take the bus, I have a 3-day growth, jeans and beat up army jacket. Folks just couldn't wait to stay the heck away from me. If you are on the bad side of town, walk like you are really pee off. Thieves target the people who look weak. The guy who's slumped over and looks tired. You are a less likely target if you look aggressive. Be aware of your surroundings. It sounds simple enough, but a lot of people are oblivious to what is going on around them. If you're going to go drinking, have a plan to get home. If you're at home and drinking, don't go anywhere. My brother and literally all of his friends have DUIs because they all did the same dumb thing and tried to drive after drinking. You'd think they'd learn their lesson after the first couple, but they're a uniquely stupid bunch. Learn when to shut up. When talking with someone, watch for little indicators that the person you're talking to has heard enough and end your conversation graciously. Never put water on a grease fire. A full-grown adult woman nearly killed herself and burned her house down yesterday because she had no clue that is a huge no. I watched a demonstration of that. Holy crap, is it a bad idea to do that? There's no such thing as a fair fight. This person is trying to do you bodily harm. Do whatever you have to. Bite, kick, scratch, scream, pull hair, throw rocks, whatever it takes. Anything worth fighting for is worth fighting dirty for. Don't wear your headphones and hoodie up in dodgy areas so no one can easily sneak up on you. Don't wear a visibly expensive watch. If someone asks you the time, don't take out your phone. Don't take your phone out unless absolutely necessary. Texting can be done with your back to a wall where you can see people approaching. Don't be on Facebook while walking. Make sure you can pay attention to your surroundings. If you're wearing an expensive suit and someone asks you for money, say sorry but you're going to a job interview. Instantly you're not a rich mark. Dress down. Jeans and a leather jacket. Wear gloves if possible, and avoid touching things in a city context. Wash your hands before eating something. Don't spend too much time looking at gambling games or street performers. They're often used as a distraction while you get pickpocketed. Always walk along the road in the opposite direction in which cars travel so you can see a drunk driver coming and dodge. If hassled, be polite, but keep walking and don't stop. Keep to the right and don't stop in the middle of a busy pavement. If you are using a moving truck to move, like a U-Haul, don't keep anything valuable in the cab compartment. Those trucks are magnets for theft as they don't have alarms. The thief knows you aren't from area. They also know you will be transporting all your stuff, and overall it's an easy crime. Also, the insurance you buy from the moving rental company doesn't cover anything in there. We had over $8,000 in items and cash stolen from our moving truck this way. We stopped to get a bite to eat at a famous place in a bad area. We were gone for 15 minutes and the truck got robbed. Always have your keys out and ready when heading to your car, as opposed to in a purse, backpack, patting pockets, etc. Unlock your car, get in, lock your car immediately. This is especially important at night or lower traffic areas. If something feels off, go back inside and call security. The police are big friend to walk you to your car. Also, even if you're walking, have your keys to hand. Can be used in self-defense. Not in a bad way, but if you can hurt your attacker in self-defense, they are likely to back off. And if you feel you're being followed, having your keys to hand means you're in your house quicker and not fumbling looking for the keys are important. Negotiate prices with cab drivers beforehand, and if they begin to act lost, call them on their bulls. Don't be afraid to hurt their feelings. They believe you're stupid and trying to take advantage of you. Profiling a group of people is illegal for groups like that, sir. Profiling a group of people when walking alone or when on public transportation might save your life. I learned this the hard way when moving to a large city. You should never do anything that makes you feel unsafe just because you're afraid to hurt someone's feelings. Don't pat yourself down to check your wallet, phone, etc. If you hear someone yell they've been robbed, people are likely watching to see who has their valuables in an easy to grab location for pickpockets, and the victim is a plant to make people check. By the same token, if someone yells frequent masturbation gives you hairy palms, do not check your palms for hair. People are likely watching and will know you are a chronic masturbator. One that I follow when traveling in a foreign country is never take the first taxi that you encounter at a train station, bus terminal, airport, or border crossing. The drivers try to take advantage of your disorientation by hustling you quickly into the taxi, and oftentimes they'll end up taking you a ride, literally, to rack up extra charges. Better to carry your stuff a little ways down the street and solicit the driver yourself, and ask them how much it will cost before committing. Quite a lot of European cities will have a set price for cabs from the airport to the city center. Sometimes it's a bit more than it would be in a normal cab, but it avoids getting actually fricked over. There are big signs outside the airport in my city saying £15 for a taxi to the city center, £2.50 for the bus, and it tells you what bus to get, the times and how long it takes. If you ever encounter a hostile situation, do not fight unless you absolutely have to, such as your life is in danger and you have no means of escaping. No matter what training you have or weapons you may carry, altercations in the street often have completely unforeseeable outcomes. Avoid them if at all possible. If you rent a car with the same size tires as your car, you can steal their tires and replace them with your old tires and they will never notice. And the real tips have finally come out. 3 turns in the same direction, and they are still behind you, you are, most likely, being followed. 4 turns, they know that you are being followed. Always tell someone that you are heading out. Make a habit of letting people know you arrived safely. If something bad does happen, someone will know quickly. If going to a sketchy location, try to bring a decoy wallet and decoy phone to give up if you get mugged. If carrying cash, don't keep it all in one location, like all $100 in your wallet. Keep half in one location, wallet, and half in the other, coat pocket. If you get pickpocketed, you're less likely to lose all your cash. If someone tries to rob or abduct you, and tells you to keep quiet and do what they say, don't. Scream as loud as you can and try to run away. Aggressors don't expect their victims to go off script. If you are screaming for help, allegedly it's better to yell fire as opposed to I'm being mugged, kidnapped, etc. If you feel like you are being followed, turn around and ask the person following you if they have the time. You will be able to see their face, which makes them less likely to attack you. This will also help you identify them in a lineup. Give a description to the police if they do attack you. If you feel like you are being followed and there are stores, coffee shops or areas that anyone can enter that are full of people, go into there. Aggressors are less likely to attack in a crowd and they may stop following you. If you're waiting on a train platform, stand at the back of the platform with your back against the wall. You don't literally have to be touching the wall, just close to it. I studied abroad in London, and we got a safety lecture on one of the first days from a police officer. He said one of the easiest ways to get your pocket picked was to stand right at the front of the platform, where anyone can walk right behind you without attracting your notice. This is especially important if you're wearing a backpack or have a bag slung behind you. I do this because I have a fear of falling onto the tracks. Seriously, who trusts that yellow line? If you're traveling in a foreign country, drunkenly walking around at night and an attractive woman comes out of the dark, starts talking to you and fondling your genitals, there's a solid chance she's actually a he and stole the money from your wallet while you were distracted. Source: happened to someone I know and that someone is me. Regarding US interstates, odd numbers run south-north with numbers increasing from west to east, while even numbers run west-east with numbers increasing from south to north. Exit numbers correspond to interstate mileage markers in most states, and triple-digit numbers are expressways, highways surrounding cities. Never let no one know how much dough you hold, cause you know the cheddar breed jealousy, especially if that man fricked up. Get your butt stuck up. Check your rear view mirror frequently while driving. If you suspect after a time that someone is following you, do not go home. Years ago I had some butthole try and follow me home from a job site. He tried being really slick about it, but after several miles it was obvious. I deliberately went to a big retail chain knowing they had tons of cameras. He parked an aisle away and then followed me inside. It was creepy as frick watching him look for me as he entered the store. Luckily the manager took me seriously and I was escorted to my vehicle while he was still inside. Fortunately there was a police officer parked near my vehicle when I left the store and I was able to get help. Look up and be aware of where you are walking. I live in a big university town and once a week I get the text alerts that some shat freshman was robbed because none of them possess spatial awareness. If it's 2:30 AM and you're listening to your iPod and playing on your iPhone while walking alone in near darkness, you're gonna get robbed. Also, it's rude. So many people do this in the middle wrong way of the sidewalk and don't even look up. I just check them at this point. This seems more like a lack of situational awareness. A lack of spatial awareness would probably result in things like running into a lamppost or falling down a flight of stairs. If you're being sexually assaulted, don't scream rape, scream fire. Also, if you're being attacked and a group of people are watching, don't just scream help. Scream you in the fill in the blank of what a person's wearing. Help. The bystander effect is real. When you're walking down the street, look people in the eyes. Years ago, an ex-cop noticed I did this and said it was one of the main reasons I wouldn't get surprise attacked, because looking them in the eyes said I could identify them later. Don't walk the wrong side of the road. For example, if cars drive up behind you, cross the road and walk the way so cars pass you by so no one can drive up behind you and grab you into their vehicle. Another good reason for this is if a car goes out of control and heads towards the sidewalk, you have a much better chance at avoiding one coming straight for you than you do avoiding one coming from behind. Hi, I'm from around Detroit. 1. If it feels sketchy, bail. It's not hard to pick up on sketchy vibes. Are the buildings in disrepair abandoned? But there's still people around. Are they watching you intently? Furthermore, why the frick are you even there in the first place? Get a GPS. Pencil neck. And that's really about it. So many of these stories I read about people getting jackmugged could have been easily avoided by staying away from blatantly obvious trouble. I, a guy, regularly walked around Detroit at 2 in the morning with lipstick and crushed velvet on. Goth kid. And never had any more trouble than my car getting broken into, and even then it was because I left valuables visible in it. I consider computer advice modern street smart, so don't click on the fricking ads. No one needs your password, bank info, SSN, anything important, and if they did they wouldn't ask over email, for Christ's sake. Pull your head out of your butt, smartphone, and pay attention to your surroundings. Yes, that guy is sizing you up. Keep an eye on him. Yes, that cute girl is trying to get you to expose your valuables so that first guy can grab them. Everyone is against you. Pay fricking attention. I very rarely call my smartphone my butt, but I'm definitely starting now. If you come out to your parked car and start to back out but see a flyer has been stuck to your back window, obstructing your view, don't just hop out to take it off. Bad guy may be waiting a few steps away, ready to jump in your car, and you've just served it to him with the door open and the engine running. If you're lost in a foreign country without Wi-Fi and don't know the language, find a hotel. They will almost always have employees who speak decent English and will also have computers to help you out. As such, I highly suggest buying an international data plan before traveling. Also, in Europe, 3 stars and up generally means you will have someone that speaks English at reception. In big cities, most places will probably have an English-speaking person already, of course. Look both ways before crossing the street. Don't stop in the middle of a roundabout to let someone in. Don't enter an intersection you can't exit. Do not walk around with your phone out. If someone asks you the time, do not take your phone out. Don't wear expensive jewelry. Keep your purse close to your body. Keep your phone, ID and bank card in your bra pocket. If your bag gets snatched, they won't get much. If someone points a gun at you, Throw your item at them and run. Your life is more valuable than your bag. If you see someone stealing something, pretend you didn't see it and don't talk to the cops, especially in areas of gang violence. Do not stop and talk to strangers. Keep walking and ignore them, no matter what they say. Don't stare at weirdos. Look straight ahead. Do not give money to anyone, no matter how sad a story is. Keep a whistle on your keychain, and it's better to yell fire than help. People are more likely to run out for a fire. Be on good terms with your neighbors. You want them to have your back. If your home is in a bad neighborhood, get a larger dog with a loud bark. If a stranger asks if it bites, always say yes, and he doesn't like strangers. Carry pepper spray on your keychain. I gotta say, I'm impressed. If someone is walking behind you, innocent or not, and you don't want to keep turning around to be awkward, use reflections from anything you can to keep tabs on them. I always do the lefts around the block trick. It'll add time to your commute, but if you are around a block and they're still behind you, you have time to haul butt, call the cops. Always check if you still have your phone, wallet and keys when about to enter or exit a taxi or any mode of public transit. If you're in a major city and there's nobody out in the streets after dark, you're either in a nice residential area or you're in the hood. The local decor should clue you in. If you see takeaway restaurants with wall-to-wall, counter-to-ceiling bulletproof glass, you should probably go to another part of town. If there's a church, liquor store, check cashing place and a pawn shop all on the same block, you should also probably reconsider where you're hanging out. If you see fried chicken restaurants named after presidents other than Kennedy or states other than Kentucky, you're probably pretty deep in the hood. Walk at a speed that's not fast enough to make people think you're following them, but also fast enough so that anybody trying to catch up with you is noticeable. This speed is about 4 miles per hour. If you're visibly underweight or slender, wear puffy or baggy clothes. Your weight makes you a potential target due to perceived weakness, but certain items of clothing can mask your size. If someone asks you for the time, you don't own a watch. If someone asks you for a cigarette, you don't smoke. If you comply and show them your watch, phone, wallet, handbag, that's the best possible time for them to steal any one of those items. Notice they are all valuable. If you're going to be walking through an area, any area, including your neighborhood, on your own, then get researching. You might be surprised at the sheer number of murders, rapes, armed robberies or drug busts there have been in a small area. Note down the exact locations of incidents and avoid them if possible. If an area has a general dodgy feel to it, then it should be safe at daytime. Stay away at night if you feel more comfortable doing so. Also, look out for any serious RTAs that have happened. If you're walking through an accident black spot, then just be very alert. Source: Paperboy in moderately rough area. If you're in downtown LA and there's a block with a bunch of free parking, it's most likely because cars get broken into a lot there. Don't let all of this advice frighten you. A lot of it is good advice, but being scared of everyone and everything isn't a good way to live your life. Stuff that my father told me to never do. He died recently, so I decided to pass this down. Playing the clarinet badly. Waving your flashlight back and forth really fast. Eating or holding cubed cheese. Sliced cheese is safe. Stomping around. They'd consider it a challenge. Wearing a hoop skirt. Wearing clown shoes. Wearing a sombrero in a goofy fashion, such as upside down or tilted, but in either way would likely offensive for them. Screeching like a chimpanzee. Running from a sea bear might show cowardness that would provoke them to attack you again if they mauled you once. Limping from a sea bear might also show cowardness that worse for running. Crawling away from a sea bear might also show cowardness that provoke them to brutally maul you more than either when running or limping. Drawing ovals in the dirt. Dirt ovals can't protect against sea bears. Your father was a funny guy. Ladies, if you're wearing a purse with a strap, position it across your body and carry it in front with your hand on the strap, close to the bag. It's a lot harder to grab a purse from across a body while it is positioned in front of your torso with a firm grip than it is just hanging from your shoulder. If you're wearing something with a hood, put the strap under the hood. Makes it that much more difficult. It's not foolproof. Nothing is, but it'll sure deter a would-be purse snatcher. I wear coats a lot, and what I like to do is put on the bag across my shoulders. and then put my coat over the top. Completely covers the bag. The following advice is for men as it probably wouldn't work as well for women. Anytime that you're at an ATM and you feel very uncomfortable with a person behind you, act as if your wife, pretend to have one if you don't. Withdrew most or all of the money from that account. Act enraged. Slam your open hand against the wall and start cursing about your wife. Do whatever it takes to make your anger believable. Doing this will drastically reduce your likelihood of being a victim because you will no longer appear to be a source of money, and seldom will a guy be messed with who's already in an angry disposition. Never eat a place called Mom's. Never play poker with a guy called Doc. And never buy a used car from a guy called Honest John. If you are new to the channel, you can subscribe. I publish new videos every day. Until then, check another video. Bye for now.